Lions Football Night in America, presented by Progressive.
Hey, Detroit, it's showtime.
Stafford is putting on a clinic.
He'll take the Lions to the playoffs. Oh, baby, he did it again.
And it is caught for the touchdown.
It doesn't get much prettier than that. Woo!
And here comes the captain, Matthew Stafford.
Hey, Stafford!
Playoff football. Boos for Matthew Stafford returning back to Detroit for the first time. Jared Goff chance.
Jared Goff. It wasn't
the new
personal.
man.
Now it's personal to him. I can promise you that.
What a game we've got for you tonight. Inside Ford Field, the Rams and Lions. Meanwhile, a football night alert in Dallas. Can you believe this? Look at that score. The Packers have gone into Dallas and beaten the team that has not lost at home since week 1 of last year.
Completely dominated. I mean, outcoached, outplayed. Good for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. He made a lot of big plays today to help them get this 48-24 lead.
Now, if this score holds there, Detroit will host another playoff game if they can win this game tonight against the Rams. Texans and Chiefs advanced to the divisional round yesterday. We got the Packers going to join them shortly here if that score holds. 3 more wild card games to be played, including our one tonight. Welcome to Football Night in America, presented by Progressive. Ahmed Fareed, Devin McCourty, Chris Sims, and Jason Garrett back from Kansas City. Thawed out.
You thawed out?
I'm ready to go, baby.
I mean, how cold was it?
It was ridiculously cold. I went out before the game. I thought my ears were going to fall off.
You didn't get any icicles on your mustache or anything? All right.
That game was awesome last night. We got an awesome one here tonight. Devin, you were out in L.A. talking with Stafford, talking with that team. What struck you the most?
Just the way that team is ready to follow Stafford, and he's ready to go anything, anywhere. He wants to show up and just play good football. This team's locked in.
You know, for Sean McVay, sometimes the best coaching is when you coach a player without them realizing that you're coaching them. Yeah. I'm sure he had a lot of subtle conversations this week with Matthew Stafford about just focus on what you need to do, temper the emotions a little bit, and just go play football.
Big moment, we know. Stafford, McVay, certainly. I think the biggest moment, though, is the guy that's quarterbacking the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, right? I look at this and go, hey, Stafford, he asked to leave Detroit. He got traded. Everything's been good for him. He went to the Rams and won the Super Bowl. Goff's going, wait, you got rid of me? Didn't like the way you got rid of me, right? And, oh, the other quarterback that replaced me won the Super Bowl. So this is personal to him, and it'll be important for him tonight to control his emotions and not try to prove everybody wrong here with just one big play.
Number 1 pick by the Rams in 2016, trying to knock them out now. Let's get it to Detroit. Jack Collinsworth, Tony Dungy, and Rodney Harrison there. Hello, guys.
Well, welcome inside Ford Field in this building. It opened over 20 years ago, and tonight, for the first time, it will host a Lions playoff game. I know this is so near and dear to your heart, and there is just a special energy in this city inside these walls, isn't there?
The energy is crazy, and I can understand it, Jack. I grew up a Lions fan. I'm 68 years old. They've only won 3 playoff games in my lifetime. This city is ready to explode. I was with Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders. They're fired up for tonight, so emotion is going to be high, Rod.
When we walked in this stadium, the fans almost looked nervous. They were very calm, and it almost like nervous, just scared. And just talking to some players, talking to some coaches, they said Dan Campbell did a great job of sending a message, hey, this week is just another football game. Don't put any added pressure on yourself. Just go out there and play.
I caught up with Kyron Williams just for a second. I said, how's that playoff energy feel to you? He stopped, looked right at me, said, this is going to be so much fun. I'm going to absolutely bring it out here tonight. It's fun talking to these players a few minutes for these moments.
It is, and managing the emotions is going to be so key. Detroit, you got all this energy. You got to calm it down a little bit. And Rams, you better be ready for an avalanche.
The Rams are ready. They'll be ready.
They'll be ready. The Lions, they tied their franchise record with 12 wins this season. Now they're on a mission to win their first playoff game in 32 years. Football night from the Motor City on Wild Card Weekend.
Football night alert. Dallas has scored again. They got a touchdown to Jake Ferguson. Dak Prescott runs in the two-point conversion. They did not get the onside kick, though. They are out of timeouts. This one is almost done. 3:18 left in Dallas. Back to Detroit and Jack.
With that game, unbelievable. Matthew Stafford making his return. His family just walked by, so you can only imagine the emotions they are feeling. Let's go on the field. Presented by Progressive. Puka Nacua, he has exploded onto the scene in L.A., put together one of the best seasons we've seen from the rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, when you watch him out here, Jack, he's a lot bigger than what you think when you see him on tape. He's 6'2", 215 pounds, and his teammates tell me what makes him special is just how big and how strong he is, and very difficult to tackle. That's going to be critical tonight, Coach.
Yeah, the Lions will have trouble matching up with Puka, but the Rams will have trouble matching up with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a route runner. He's tough. He can run after the catch. He is so quick in and out of the breaks. He's going to give people a lot of trouble tonight.
And I'm really excited to see Aiden Hutchinson. He brings that energy and emotion. Kind of reminds me of Max Crosby, just how energized that he plays, but he's their only true pass rusher. He's got to be the guy that creates these negative plays, and he has to be able to expect a lot of double teams because they just don't have anybody else.
For the Rams, the pass rush will start with Aaron Donald. He's an inside rusher. He is tremendous. He's got quickness. He's got power. He's got experience. He sets the tone, and the Rams said, we've got to stop the run and turn Aaron loose tonight.
But I tell you this, Coach, if I'm the Detroit Lions and my line averages 6'6",
there's some big boys,
310 pounds, and you have Aaron Donald and you have Kobe Turner, who average probably 6 feet, 285 pounds. I'm running the ball. I think it's imperative they come out and establish the run.
Hey, Coach, ever since Dan Campbell arrived, he's brought this aggressive energy mindset that resonates really with this city.
It really has. He's turned the team around. They love him, but I'll say this, in the playoffs, it's great to have that aggressiveness, but you've got to coach smart, and you've got to make sure that you don't lose the games first.
I think a big part of his aggressive style is the fact that he doesn't really trust his defense, and he feels like his offense has to always score.
Fourth downs, Dan Campbell certainly not scared of those.
He's going for it
on fourth down more than any team in the NFL. They have the most fourth down conversions and the most turnovers on down, so it's something to watch tonight. Send it back into Ahmed.
Punt it.
They have a whole lot of confidence in that offense there in Detroit. And they got a couple of running backs that can take over a game, too, Jason.
They absolutely do. As good as Jared Goff has been, for me, they have to start with their running game. And they got two really good ones in David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. They're inside-outside guys. They're thunder and lightning. Montgomery is the downhill guy. Big physical offensive line. He's going to run north and south and time again pound the defense. They need to do that tonight.
That's right, JG. They got an awesome offensive line. Penei Sewell, the center is all-pro, level-ish type of football player. They can move you in the run game, and then they get Gibbs on the outside edge there. He's the change up to the inside run with Montgomery, and then, of course, they tie that play-action pass together really nice with it.
As soon as I hear both of you talk about that, as a defensive player for the Rams, you have to be thinking, who's in the game? Is it Gibbs? Is it Montgomery? Know how that changes the game. Know how you need to play defensively. Don't be surprised when the ball goes outside and Gibbs is in the game. So if they do that, I think that'll give them a chance tonight.
Play-action pass to Sam Laporta is active, was hurt last week of the season. He is active. Try to give it a go here today. Time now for the DraftKings Sportsbook 3-play with Matthew Berry. You hit yesterday's 3-play, Matthew. Congratulations. We got high hopes for today now.
Thank you, Ahmed. So do I. And I'm starting with Matthew Stafford and his return to Detroit. Listen, he's thrown multiple touchdown passes in 5 of his last 6 games, so I like him to do at least 2 tonight. Remember, the Lions secondary has really struggled recently. Everyone's talked about Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, so of course I'm talking about Demarcus Robinson. Listen, no team in the NFL runs more 3 wide receiver sets than the Rams. Robinson's out there a ton, and oh, by the way, he's beaten his receiving number in each of his last 5 full games. And finally, it's Detroit.
Detroit, you knew I had to go with my ride or die, Amon-Ra St. Brown. At home this year, he has averaged 105 receiving yards per game. So I'm taking an alt line here. Give me the over on 80. I think that's easy. That's my DraftKings 3 play tonight. Stafford over the passing touchdowns. Robinson and Amon-Ra St. Brown over on the receiving yards. Ahmed.
Thanks, Matthew. So many playmakers in this game here tonight. Lions rookie Jahmyr Gibbs totaled over 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns this season. Tonight, making his playoff debut. And he recently had a nice welcome to the neighborhood from Lions fans at a local Detroit Applebee's. 3 days of playoff doubleheaders on this Martin Luther King weekend, and tributes at all of the games, including MLK and Be Love messages on helmets and in the end zone. Very fitting in Detroit, where more than 60 years ago, Dr. King gave an early version of his I Have a Dream speech some 2 months prior to the March on Washington. Matthew Stafford spent his first 12 seasons with Detroit, and as the 35-year-old told Devin earlier this week, he is ready for this return to a city that is still very close to his heart.
Last year I had a moment where I was talking to a guy, and we were talking about high school. I said, yeah, my freshman year was 2001. He was like, I was born in 2000.
Yeah.
Have you had that moment where you felt like the old guy?
Oh, yeah, a bunch of times. We got a couple guys in our locker room right now that are from Detroit that when they came here were like, man, I grew up watching you. I was, X years old when you got drafted to the Lions. I'm like, thanks, guys.
Have you been back since the trade? And if so, what was the interaction like with the fans in Detroit?
I have. Kelly and I have a couple things off the field going on while we left there. We've been back for a few of those, and it's been great. The people of Detroit have always had my back, win, lose, draw, whatever it is. My wife getting sick, my kids being born. It means a lot to me and my family.
We're upstairs. In the middle with you now.
You walk into Ford Field. Do you know how to get to the visitor locker room?
I've only been there a couple times for maybe a photo shoot or something, but it's going to be a strange feeling.
This team has earned it. You fans have earned it.
Once the ball's snapped, man, let's go play football.
Lions are going to throw it. Goff back.
It's going to be a great atmosphere. I know that. That place, they love their Lions, and they should be proud of them. They're playing at a really high level.
The pressure is on them now.
It'll be rocking and rolling and be a good atmosphere.
Well, this crowd is all lathered up.
What was the loudest ever you've heard that stadium?
2011, Monday Night Football. We were playing Chicago.
Downfield. Megatron got it. All the way home. Touchdown, Detroit.
I expect it to be something like that, or probably a little bit more, to be honest.
It's gonna be a little bit more.
So it'll be an awesome atmosphere. I'm excited for everybody to get to play in that game and go have some fun.
If you think this guy's going to be nervous, you're wrong. This is the same guy Simsy talks about all the time. Last drive of the Super Bowl. Those are no-look in cuts to Cooper Kupp. So he's going to be ready to go, and he's going to have fun tonight.
No doubt about it.
When you have a guy like Matthew Stafford, no one would blame you for just riding his right arm in this game here today. If you're Sean McVay, though, how would you play this?
I think they got to be careful a little bit. We know this Detroit offense is really good, right? It's a Rams defense that's good but not great. It's well coached. And the 2023 Rams, it's about the run game, okay? Stafford and his right arm are awesome, but Kyron Williams is one of the best running backs in football. They got a bigger offensive line than in years past, so they are capable of overpowering you in the run game. And then they add these two wide receivers into the mix and really put defenses into a bind.
And what I love is these receivers, they motion and they will block.
Yes,
they will block in the run game, and it sets up plays like this. Comes in motion, Nakua comes, now he's running an in cut. And every time you see these routes, you see him catch a deeper in cut. But why? Because they have levels to it. Cooper Kupp comes underneath. He's a shallow route, a little deeper. There's Puka Nakua, and now you got to pick and choose, but they kill you either way.
Dev, I just love how they marry it all together.
Yeah.
The personnel group, the formation, the motion, it all looks the same in the running game and the play-action game. And for the quarterback, he makes it so easy because you come out of that fake and it's a progression read. Throw it to that guy if he's open. If not, throw it to that guy. Nobody does that better than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, really good. And they make it hard to double the two receivers because they stack them together so much that they make it hard to just go, hey, you're going to stop one of these guys? Good luck doing that.
I'm pumped for game number 2 today in the NFL playoffs. Game number 1 in Dallas just finishing up. Reaction from there in just a second, but let's send it back to Jack right now.
Let's talk this Lions defense. They gave up the most yards in the league last season. They've improved some, though, year 3 under Aaron Glenn. So what's the evaluation of what this defense is doing as we enter the playoffs?
Well, the guys in the studio talked about the Rams receivers. The Lions do not have a secondary to match up with them. So the key is getting pressure. Aaron Glenn will dial up a lot of pressure. He wants to get one-on-ones for his best pass rusher, Aiden Hutchinson. When the pressure's there, it's great. But when the pressure is not there, Rodney, it's a different story.
It's hard to trust this defense because they're not very disciplined, Coach. And at times they play overly aggressive. And there's a lot of openings in this defense. But the key is making sure that you take advantage of those opportunities if you're the quarterback.
Stafford will have some shots for some big plays tonight, Jack.
And they gave up the most completions of 25-plus yards, 2-year points, susceptible to the big play as we send it back in to Ahmed.
All right, thank you, Jack. Hot off the presses in Dallas, Mike McCarthy against his former team. This was a nightmare scenario for Mike McCarthy.
Yes, it was. It was domination from the get-go. And Jordan Love looking like Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers off the back foot, touchdown Dontavian Wicks. And the Packers offense was rolling early.
And something, Jason, was off all game between Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, they just weren't in the same rhythm that they were, and a really good play by the Green Bay secondary, taking the ball away here. Coming off in man coverage, Savage reads Dak's eyes and takes it the other way. A big play early for the Pack.
And what I loved about this game, Green Bay had everything going. Aaron Jones got going, the run game, the defense played well. Jordan Love continued his streak of playing really well. So Green Bay's got to feel really confident going to the next round.
That's right. Most points allowed in a playoff game in Dallas history. We just showed Jerry Jones. You know him very, very well. What do you think he's thinking right now? Do you think we could see a change at the head coach position?
Well, just an incredibly disappointing loss. He said he felt like this team had the best chance to go all the way in the teams he's had in recent years. So to land it with a thud in the wild card round, he's certainly going to be emotional tonight. But one thing about Jerry Jones, we had some disappointing losses in the divisional round. He's great with coaches. He's great with players in the team after the game. But then he's going to settle back. He's going to have a lot of conversations with a number of different people, and he's going to start making changes. So I expect him to be really good tomorrow, but we'll see what happens as the week unfolds.
Simsy, I don't know about you. I expect a big change. I think we've heard the rumors. You watch that game today, I think there's a good chance that we don't see Mike McCarthy back on the sidelines as head coach of the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. It's incredible to say that after 3 12-5 seasons, right? But, yeah, there's obviously some issues there. There's a lot of rumors throughout the NFL, and it's just a disappointing showing today. One of the best defenses in football. It felt like Cleveland yesterday, just getting tore up by a Packers offense that was all over what they did.
3 12-5 seasons in a row, but now 1-3 in the playoffs.
That's
for
the
Mike
most
McCarthy.
important
Let's
thing.
welcome in Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio. So, Mike, after this loss, what does the future look like from your vantage point for Mike McCarthy?
Well, the guy we have to keep an eye on is Bill Belichick. He's been linked to the Falcons for most of the past week, but now that the Cowboys go one and done, McCarthy's got 1 year left on his contract. There's plenty of chatter about this possibility of McCarthy out and then potentially Belichick in. It all starts, though, with step one. What will Jerry Jones do about his head coach? Will he move on from Mike McCarthy? And if Belichick ends up not being in play in Atlanta, keep an eye on Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. We'll see him tonight. We could see him emerge as the new favorite to become the next coach of the Falcons.
Just imagine that for a second, Bill Belichick. To the Cowboys.
You got a shot at Bill. You don't turn that down.
I hear that. I got to see it, though. Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick together, I don't picture that going, all positively.
They're actually close. They're good friends. They really like and respect each other. But the working relationship,
it's a different.
Right. It'll be interesting.
Right.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned is what they say there. Time for Barry's Bet right now, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We send it to Matthew Barry as we take a look at Jared Goff on the field. Matthew.
Thanks, you, Ahmed. And, yeah, we're looking at Jared Goff because that's what my Barry's Bet is. I'm taking the over on his passing yards. We know how good he plays at home. Jared Goff averages 280 passing yards at home this season. So, yeah, I think he goes over 261.5 tonight. Rams play a ton of zone. Goff does really well against zone coverage in a shootout. Give me the over on Jared Goff's passing yards prop tonight. A reminder, on DraftKings Sportsbook, new customers bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Plus, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every single day. Just use the promo code SNF when you download the DraftKings app. It's DraftKings. The crown is yours, Ahmed.
Thank you, Matthew. So if Jared Goff wins a game like this, he can become a legend maybe one day. We got legends on the field.
Barry Sanders.
Look at that jacket, too.
2 legends.
Oh, Megatron.
Big Sean in the building.
Whoa. Uh-oh. Eminem. They're all there for this one.
You get one shot. You get one shot.
Dad was a huge fan. He never missed a home Lions game until the day he died in 2019. His jersey, his hat, and his ashes will be in his seat My dad won't physically be here, but he will be in spirit.
This is the party moment for the city of Detroit. Clock in. 313 grit means hard work. Let it be special.
Everything Detroit is all about.
We're building a team here in Detroit.
What a comeback.
I like being the underdog, having the chip on the shoulder.
We went and got the win.
My favorite memory of the Detroit Lions is watching my Lions-crazed husband this year when they finally won the championship.
It's special, man.
No disrespect to Stafford, but the show must go on.
I'm in it with you now.
When Matthew left here in Detroit, it was sad to see him go. To see his first year and go and win a championship, it's something that we felt like we all knew that we had here.
He was a huge part of us, and now to break free, we need to beat him.
Gotta show him you still got it.
No offense, Matt. You're going down.
Man, oh man, this team means so much to the people in Michigan, to the fans, the players. Stafford's crossed out. Not tonight. He's been replaced. J-Mo.
Oh, James and Williams. Said the heck to Stafford.
It's a cheap alteration.
Yeah, that is
what that is.
Real cheap alteration.
A lot of knives. Look at that. That place is going to be loud. Live pictures inside of Ford Field right now. The light show has begun. It is going to be electric. So, Jason, moments away from sending it out there, kickoff for this one, managing emotions. You talked about that for Stafford and Jared Goff. What are you telling your guys?
Yeah, I think that's the big thing for both sides. Channel your emotions. Use it to your advantage to focus on the task at hand and execute ball plays. If you get caught up in revenge and bring all that baggage, that's not going to help you play any better.
And I remember Brady coming back to New England, playing in that big game in Foxborough. He just had so much fun. He was laughing, joking, smiling. And I think Stafford needs to have that approach. Go out there, have fun, play football.
Yeah, agreed. I think the pressure's on Detroit for a lot of reasons. First off, Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, they've been in the Super Bowl. They've been in big football games, so they should be used to this. I'm interested, how do the Rams manage the football game? We heard Coach Dungy talk about, hey, this Lions secondary not all that good, but will they fall in the trap of throwing the ball every play, or will they run it with Kyron Williams? I think that's going to be something to watch for.
All right, it is time now for home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. Let's see what America's got. 63% of America is riding with the home team. The Detroit Lions in this one, first home playoff game in 30 years, looking for their first playoff win in 31 seasons. Chris Sims, your pick.
Oh, this is a tough one, but I'm going with the Rams in a close one. I just think their experience in this and their ability, Sean McVay, to come up with great game plans and must-win football games, I'm kind of riding that. And this is Dan Campbell's first rodeo in that department. I'm sorry, Ahmed.
No, I'm a Michigan native. Everyone knows that, right? But I'm a journalist first and foremost. I got to pick with my mind, not my heart.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Lions 56-10. Objectively.
Every time you're opposite Sims, it works out for you. But I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I think in these situations, you pick the better quarterback. I think Matt Stafford has a huge return to Detroit and gets the win.
I love the Stafford story. I love how McVay has resurrected this team. Right. But I love the Detroit story that much better. Dan Campbell, we're biting kneecaps. They have to run the football and be balanced on offense. I'm taking the Lions.
Matthew Berry.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with Coach Garrett here. Dan Campbell has got these guys believing. Pure octane, controlled fury. Give me the Lions at home in a close one.
The Lions defense has been shredded the last 3 weeks by Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins is not walking through that door tonight. Matthew Stafford is. I'll take the Rams, Jack Collinsworth.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the Lions' shoulders while Matthew Stafford has seen it all. He's going to have favorable matchups on the outside. I am taking the Rams, Rod.
I'm looking at offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, and he has to use this offensive line, this huge offensive line, and establish the run. Then you can set up play-action pass. But I'm taking the Lions 31-28, Coach.
This game is going to come down to one thing. Which quarterback gets the best protection? You protect your quarterback by running the ball. I think Detroit will run it better, and I think they'll win the ball game. 3-1-3 grit.
Coach, you said it. You can feel how long these fans have been waiting for tonight. Playoff football. Ahmed, all you.
It's basically one of those games where you just pick your storyline in this one. So many playmakers, so many storylines on both teams. Time for kickoff. Lions' first home playoff game in 30 years. Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, their former teams. We got Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark have the call right after this.
This has been Football Night in America, presented by Progressive.